Mr. Badler.
Here.
Mr. Osborne.
Here.
Mr. Gardner is absent this evening. Mr. Hausman.
Here.
Ms. McCoy.
Here.
Mrs. Meyer is absent this evening. Mrs. Oberheim.
Here.
Mr. Young.
Right before we continue to the student representation presentation, just want to let everyone know that we met prior to this in executive session just to talk personnel issues throughout the district. Just to let you guys know that. All right, so student representative presentation. You guys got anything to talk about?
Just have a few updates about what's going around the student body, specifically with like clubs and such. Just some updates on how we're doing. We have the mock trial club did their trip to Harvard University for their seminar to teach the basics of mock trial. They do a pretty young team. It ended with a scrimmage trial. The team was split into two separate teams, and they both did phenomenal. Pretty much swept every team they went against. The Ropac Honor Society attended the cemetery on Veterans Day yesterday. Alice Emick and Brenna Rosenbaum, two seniors, gave speeches there, and they were really good speeches. And then the Arrowhead is always, of course, posting new content and just some recent ones. Reagan Fredericks did a fall sports overview. Ali Raver did a profile on the Williamsport Youth Choir, and Mira Damasco and Sophia Lopez did something for the YouTube channel, a Q&A with Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Wise about the upcoming yonder passes. That's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to the reading of the minutes and the approval of the regular meeting minutes from the October 8th, 2024 and work session minutes from the October 22nd, 2024 meetings. I'll take a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any comments? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed. All right, so for the presentation portion of the evening tonight, we're going to take a little field trip across the hall over to the theater for the jazz band. So we're going to pause in here. We'll go over there, hear their performance, and then we'll come back over here and pick up right where we left off. Sound good?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay.
Just got all set.
Just.
He did anyway. I just got on myself.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
My mom texted me, she was like, it was on the Zoom.
I'll lean in and just use the microphone. These rolling chairs make me nervous. I'm afraid they're gonna kick out.
Yeah. I mean, what's that?
She
That
will.
was fun. Take a motion to just hang it in front of the. All right, that was fantastic. Those. that
Yeah,
was
they're
pretty
doing a
good.
great job.
I tell you, we got some talented kids that go to this district all around, athletics, academics, you name it. Good stuff. All right, so now we'll move on to the public comment portion of the agenda. This is for residents and taxpayers, comment on matters of concern, official action or deliberation for the board. You have three unpaused minutes. Okay, we have no one in the room. We'll go to Zoom. Any of the attendees would like to make a comment, please raise your hand. All right, very well. We move on to the business manager's report. Brandy.
We've received copies of the treasurer's reports for the period ending October 31st, 2024 for the general fund and cafeteria fund. We are submitting to these to the board for the consideration of approval.
All right, take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any questions? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?
You received copies of the budgetary transfers for the general fund. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration of approval.
Take a motion to approve the transfers.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any questions, comments? All right, all in favor, say aye. All opposed?
You also had a budgetary transfer that was informational only in there. And that was in the curriculum, moving it from the wages over to some supplies that were needed for a new curriculum that we had already purchased. So we're just using some of those funds. And then for the presentation of the bills, we've received copies of the listing of invoices for the general fund and the cafeteria fund for the period ending November 12th, 2024. We are submitting these to the board for your consideration of approval and payment.
All right, accept a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve.
Second. Any questions? Roll call, Brandy?
Mr. Albert,
Yes.
Mr. Badger,
Yes.
Mr. Eisenhower,
Yes.
Mr. Hausnick.
Yes.
Ms. McCoy,
Yes.
Mrs. Oberheim,
Yes.
and Mr. Young.
Yes.
Currently, right now, we just finished with all the off-site review forms. They've all been submitted to the school nutritional program administrative review. The on-site review will take place in January for the school nutrition program. We are hoping to have draft numbers for the AFR by the end of the week so that we can get our AFR submitted and get last year all wrapped up. The single audit information has also been submitted to the auditors, and we're just waiting on them to finish up the single audit. The program selected this year was the school nutritional program. So that is what program they are also focusing on. So a lot going on in the school nutrition program right now. as far as audits go. And we also sent home a flyer about school bus safety last week. Share it if you got it, share it. It's important. The more people we share it with, the more people we can get to understand the laws. I think there's a lot of confusion out there on when do I stop for a school bus sign? And my biggest thing is, if you don't know, stop. Like, it does only takes 30 seconds for kids to get on the bus. Just stop, because it makes sure that they arrive to school safely. We are having a lot of problems with, the reds being ran, and I think the biggest thing that we can do is just educate our community on what it is. A lot of it happens up here, when you're going out towards the mall and there's 3-4 lanes and people just aren't sure. Well, there's not a middle barrier, so everyone needs to stop. So just, pass along that information. We're very appreciative of it because it is the safety of our kids. So moving on from there, the time clock pilots are getting ready to start. We sent out an email asking for people to volunteer for the pilot program. We actually got a lot of response, and a lot of people want to help with the pilots, so we'll be working on that here. Work has started on the 25-26 school year budget. Impact statements have been put in. And we're starting working on that, so that will be coming forward in the next couple of months also. And we met with Raymond James in anticipation of some borrowing needs for a building project. And they will have a short presentation in January at the board meeting to show what that borrowing could look like, to give more information out to the public. And that is all I have this evening.
All right, great updates. Thank you, ma'am.
Randy, I have a question.
Like,
Have the drivers been submitting the school bus violation reports when they observe a violation?
we do, but a lot of times they can't get like the license plate or the description of the driver, especially if on the further lane over, they're trying to watch the kids. So we have been working on doing that. But again, I don't think people are purposefully running the reds. I think it is more a lack of education and knowing. We have another place where it's happening at, and it's because they're turning off to the right and the bus is stopped. It's a 4-way stop, but they're turning off to the right. So they think that they can go because they're not going where the bus is, but technically they have to stop. And it is for the safety, because, there could be a kid coming from that side of the road. So I think the flyer we sent out, if everyone just continues to hand it, and, we want to prevent it, and, it's more about prevention and the safety of the kids.
Thank you.
So.
All right, moving on to administrative reports. We'll start over here with Mr. Johnson this time.
All right. Well, thank you, Jack, for sharing some of the things that mock trial off to where we're going to start. And we're thankful to all the work that Road Capital has done as well. We just posted the academic cap on that one nationally well. I think there were a few issues technologically on their end, but other than that, we'll probably continue to host as long as they let us, because they like the facility. And I think that went really well. Mr. Hart does a great job, and we continue to have more and more kids sign up to join academic platform, which is great. Just included fall sports and our really the beginnings of winter sports here soon. Our fall sports season ended with teams doing really well. And just a shout out to all of our seniors that compete in those events, those sports. Thank you for the time that you put in dedication. Coming up, we have right now, if you walked in and all you saw, there's a bunch of people in the cafeteria. We have Lock Haven hosting a financial aid informational session this evening. We have another one hosted by coming up in a few months as well, to work with our youth and seniors as they look toward what's next for them and walk through that financial aid process. We have guys in your career day tomorrow at the high school for our mid careers folks. We're excited about that. We just met today. Thank you, Mr. Key, for working with, Mrs. Achira with the opportunity for some math tutoring. That the program available through University of Pennsylvania. That's a really cool opportunity. So had a session on that. And hopefully we'll have some students take part in that and earn some additional credits. Let's see, we finished our ASVAB assessment. We had a great Veterans Day assembly here at the high school. I will let them talk about that. I won't get into that, but we're happy to host that. We have parent teacher conferences coming up, 25th and 26th. We're looking for a calm week. Great. Our teachers through all that are continue to be kid focused and amazing through that. Huge shout out to them for helping us all keep the wheels on, and even in the face of whatever we deal with on a day-to-day basis, they're still teaching. Kids are still learning what they need to learn. We had a lot of stuff happening between ACDEC and a whole host of other things. So I do want to shout out to Joe and his folks for all their hard effort setting up and tearing down and moving things around. It's a lot. Veterans Day was a lot. So a lot of moving pieces. But I'm very thankful for all their support. And yeah, we're in winter, and I think a lot of us are ready for some Thanksgiving.
All right, Mr. Handel.
Yep, we're preparing for the Pennsylvania Alternate Systems Assessment. That is the assessment that is for our students with the most significant cognitive disabilities. Give them an opportunity to be assessed in reading, math, and science, similar to our students that take up the SSA. And we have the enrollment period for this ends at the end of this week, November 15th. And then our testing window will be between March 10th and May 2nd in the spring. Along with that, in the special education department, as you know, we are preparing for our technical monitoring that's coming up. And one of the things that we had to do in preparation for that is called an educational benefit review. So the state selects 10 student files, and we have to gather a team of special education teachers as well as regular education teachers together to review a 3-year period for those 10 students. And I wanted to do a special thanks to Joy Snyder, our elementary speech therapist, Michelle Metzger, our MTSS teacher at Loyal Rock Valley, Shay Long, our learning support teacher at McCall Middle School, Jessica Donnelly, our secondary speech therapist, Hannah McCracken, a 5th grade English language arts teacher at McCall Middle School, Krista Wise, our learning support teacher and gifted support teacher at the high school, and Wendy Baker, a school psychologist. That was a team of staff that we had that spent a day and a half with me, looking through all of these student files and completing all of the necessary state work for us with the monitoring them coming. So thanks to all of them for all of their hard work with that as well. And they were all volunteering for that wonderful task of looking through these files. And I think after the first day, it was a very long day for them all. They were very happy to have a weekend after that before the next session came up. Another thing that we have going on in the special education department is we have our secondary transition council meetings that are coming up. We have 6 scheduled meetings. These are for our 11th and 12th grade special education students and their families to come into our school and to meet with a lot of agencies that are providing services for students when they graduate from high school. So some of those agencies that will be attending are the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, Lycoming Clinton County Mental Health and Intellectual Disabilities, Penn College, the Center for Independent Living, and Creole. And Shanna Kiefer, our learning support teacher at the high school, has been collaborating and working together with all of the various agencies to make sure that these events go off without any problems or concerns. And so we have our first one scheduled for Wednesday, November 20th. So looking forward to having our parents and students learning as much as they can about what is out there to offer them after they graduate from high school.
But it's a very handy tool. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Sebastian, how are we doing? Beard's looking good. Beard's time again. I like it. Mrs. Albert.
So we have a lot of exciting stuff going on in the fall. We had our PIS Rewards Day, which rewards the students for good behavior, good attendance, and taking care of their devices and school equipment. Through that, there was an obstacle course, a very funny and interesting donut eating contest, some dance dance offs, which I may or may not have been a part of the thriller dance. I also. That was interesting.
Mr. Meyer.
No, he missed that. So no videos that I know of, but, okay. Also want to do a shout out to the art department. They were at the Concord Library a couple weeks ago. There's art displays there for kiddos of all levels. So if you have a chance to swing in there, their facility, they'd like to show it off and renovations, and it's beautiful. And they did a nice ceremony for our kiddos. So if you have a chance to stop down and see that, and the art teachers, you know, for them, they put a lot of work in getting that put together. Looks like something they're gonna try to do every 6 months is rotate the art display. So just a neat way to get involved in the community. And a shout out to our cafeteria staff today for the fall Thanksgiving dinner. They rocked it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a little sleepy.
I'll leave the rest.
All right, yeah, Mr. Napa. All right. Mr. Blaze.
Oh, just some old business. I know I talked about this last time, but we had our glow night at Snyder's. But we had about 500 people there, so it was packed. It's always fun to see people come back with their families and having a good time. Same thing with our trunk or treat. We had our fire prevention day as well. And this year's big hit was the car that the fire department caught on fire. Kids that come out and they spray with the hose, and they love that. So it's always fun. So I appreciate everybody for that in the community aspect. We just got done with that book fair. That was a big hit. Mrs. Jones has been super busy with that, and the Veterans Day assembly that we had, this past week, and that was phenomenal. I think Addison played taps and crushed that too, so he did a good job. And 3rd and 4th grade went to the community arts center for science field pick and ready for that 5th grade, kids to say, Mr. Meyer. And then we have a road warrior, separate tomorrow. He's Guinness, with the world record for most jumpers, I guess. Something like that. He's got a couple records, so it's gonna be pretty cool. He's gonna be creating a school-wide assembly and then some workshops for grade level stuff. He attended Charlotte's Web with my daughter, and had to play on Saturday night. It was a great job, so phenomenal play. Great job with that. Other than that,
All right, Mr. Myers.
Well, we just finished up, Red Ribbon Week, various themed dress down days, so thank you to the counseling office and our staff team. They have an anti-bullying contest, poster contest, and that's really cool that the kids participate in that, and talk about that. Again, I want to shout out to the fall sports teams, really did well. It's cool to see now that the indoor season, girls basketball is going on, doing really well. Just had boys basketball signups. Then we're down in the basement. The wrestling match are coming along night, so we're excited about the start of wrestling season here soon. Staff have been donating a lot of money. Hope for Harvest Thanksgiving baskets are coming up. We have a dress down this Friday, next Friday, and we will sponsor a lot of families with those funds. So thank you for the community for their support with that. And I think we just finished the first market period, and kind of getting that groove, for the holidays. So that's about it.
Yeah, Mr. Brook.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of piggyback on Mr. Blaze, because a lot of us, we do very similar things, different, same kind of programs and so forth, but, December 6th, is gonna be the 3rd time we've done this, with the later gym area. They're having what they call the Oh What Fun Festival. Our PTOs a couple years ago realized that with the mall kind of fading off, there's really nowhere in the community to do pictures of Santa. So they get Santa who volunteers comes in, families can take their own photos with them, and they have a couple of different stations, but it's just meant to be with the December holidays to have some different things available. And then McCall PTO and Valley PTO welcome you to come down. They invite really, that age group of kids. And the PTOs, if they have some things they want to sell, or the community for stocking stuffers or whatever. So it's a good night. I mean, it works for families who are interested in looking for that kind of opportunity. Mr. Blaze mentioned the veterans program, which again, thanks Mr. Johnson and the students here at the high school who helped. It's really developed over the years We've done it now for 17 years. It used to be at each of the elementaries, but it's really now since we moved here. When Mr. T was transitioning out, Mr. Johnson coming in, that like, it's really become a district program now. You know, we do it to teach our elementary kids from the earliest on, let them be the ones to to celebrate the veterans. I mean, let's face it, they're the cute ones, right? So put the cute kids out there, right? And, let them sing to the veterans. And I tell you, every year, that's the biggest joy I get is the expression of the veterans who are in attendance and the thanks that they give to me, which really I deflect them to Mrs. Jones or Mrs. Pelizzi, that they're the ones that did it. But 146 veterans were in attendance. So, this is the first time, unfortunately, we didn't have a World War II veteran with us. But again, I just think such a valuable lesson we teach to our children about giving thanks. To those who preserve the freedoms and let give them a chance to grow up and chase the dreams they want to pursue. Just a couple of things, the rope warrior, we're looking forward to him. He's going to both schools, and in addition to showing his jump roping skills and inspiring kids to try new things, he has a message about friendship and kindness and being helpful and things like that. And then I think last but not least, yes, we're doing our turkey trot here in November. Again, collecting foods and foodstuffs for Salvation Army, but also Hope for Harvest, that we can help those programs to help people in our community. And again, what a valuable lesson we teach our children. So, but I agree, Mr. Johnson, I think kids and staff, they're ready to give some thanks and eat some turkey too. So we're looking forward to that. So, and actually, thanks to Mr. Johnson, to our parents, are going to see something new tomorrow. And then you get a chance on Thursday that for the first time, we're moving to how parents sign up for parent-teacher conferences. It's going to be an online piece where the parents can log in and find the time that's most convenient for them, rather than the teachers hoping they find a good convenient time for them. There'll be a way that parents can go in, they can get access, they can see and sign up for, again, times that work for the day, and also what's available in the teacher schedule of our parent conference day. So that's going to be district-wide, and we're looking forward to that, and hope our parents appreciate trying this out and seeing how it goes. Mr. Johnson's had experience in his prior district and said it worked really, really well. So we're all excited to try it out. And again, thank you to him for coordinating that. So that's it.
Between the jazz band and my admin team here, I have nothing to add to all that good news. The clip I did send you was the song he was referring to. So if you got a chance to watch that clip, it's quite moving. So thank you.
All right. And I want to talk on that too, just for a second, as a veteran, a 24-year veteran in the Air Force, I retired 5 years ago. It's nice to have that kind of reminder of that the community does respect those folks that serve in the way they do. So I was bummed I didn't get to come this year, so you didn't get 147, but it was last year, and it was amazing. It was absolutely phenomenal with those the efforts that the kids put into that, and that the teachers and the staff put in. It's very humbling, and really, really, really appreciate that. So thank you for doing it. Absolutely. All right, to general agenda items. There are a lot in here, but if we're okay with combining all 7.1 through 7.10, I think we could do that. There's none in here that really kind of jump out, but again, once we get a first and second motion, we can discuss any of those, and then we can vote on all of them at once. So if everyone's okay with that, we'll press with that. Just take a minute to look at them and we're good to go. All right, when we're ready, I'll take a motion to approve. Motion to approve.
It's a killer.
All right, any questions or comments on any of those?
I have a comment on on the field trip and the public content. I think it's worth noting that with everything that's going on there, you got expenses of over $26,000 and the district is responsible for 960 of it. So it goes to show you just, how people work together and raise money and do the things they do so these kids can do the things that they enjoy doing. So I just thought it was important just to note that.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Any other comments on any of them? All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, moving on to the personnel section. Again, we can combine 8.1 through 8.5. I'll take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Second.
Any questions, comments? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, finances, 9.1, acknowledgement of the following high school student activities advisors and officers for the 2024-2025 school year. This is for the Mu Alpha Theta officers. Take a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Any questions? All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, academics approval for student 262920 to be expelled from Montoursville area school as per agreement.
Motion to approve. Second.
All right, we'll refrain from comments in there. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, committee reports, Mr. Young.
Yes, sir. Thank you, President. VSBA, Mrs. Ober,
Nothing tonight from VSBA.
policy, Mrs. LaFoy.
Nothing from policy except for the emergency manual.
Yes, thank you. Mrs. Meyer is absent. LCTC, Mr. Eisenhower.
Yeah, about a week and a half ago, LCTC found out that the state will be granting them the $5 million award for the expansion project, which means if it passes in December, then we will be sharing 1/6 of the cost of the $5 million, because that's how much they got. They'll be voting on that in December. I will be voting no since I represent the board, and that's what you guys decided. I believe we will be the only ones voting no. Okay, that's where that's going.
Thank you. Memorial Gardens, Mr. Houston.
2 weekends ago, Mrs. Tier and the Key Club, Scotty Conkle and a lot of other adults got their leaf blowers and the rakes out and they made some humongous piles in our parking lot, but cleaned it up quite well. So job well done.
If I may add to that, I got a call from a community member. There were kids playing in that big giant leaf pile.
They were good sized piles.
Yes, but
Someone's
he
gonna.
didn't call because of that. He called because there was an event going on in the stadium where the national anthem started. And that group of kids stopped playing in the leaves, stood up and put their hand on their hearts to listen to the national anthem. So our kids still get it.
Yeah.
Just wanted to share that.
Thank you for that. Budget, Mr. LaFoy.
You
Mr.
don't
Houston.
have anything?
Montourville Foundation, Mr. T, anything?
They're still working on a smaller event. It'll be cheaper to get into. They're also receiving teacher grants, requests for their mini grants, to fund some items. 3D printers are a big item that's being asked for.
Thank you. Buildings and grounds, Mr. Albert.
I have nothing this evening.
Extracurricular, Mr. Badger or Mr. Hausman?
Okay, like Mr. Johnson said, the fall sports season's over. The teams all did quite well. The seniors on all these teams were pretty decent leaders. And the underclassmen, the future's going to be bright. In cross country, Weston Fry was 9th in the district. He qualified for the state meet in AA. It was the 4th year in a row he qualified for that state meet. He placed 30th, but just getting there. The golf team ended 5-5. The girls tennis team 9-6. Junior high girls softball team 9-2-1 had a great season. The boys soccer team had a fantastic season, 13-5. They lost a 1-0 heartbreaker in the first round to Wellsboro. And in the Hack 2 All-Star team, Bryce Winslow, Quinn Winslow, and Braden McCourt were named first team. CJ Lucas, Shaw Simpson, second team. Gavin Hawley, Sean Fry, third team, and honorable mention. And so, you know, that's 7 kids on the soccer team, all being honored there and selected. Girls soccer started off very slow. At one point, they were like 2-5. They ended up 10-6-2. They lost a heartbreaker in the first round, 1-0. And they had 5 girls make the Hack All-Star teams. Kenya Bennett was first team. Paige Boyle and Marley Bainbridge made second team. Bainbridge is a freshman. Reagan Fredericks and Cindy Boyle both made honorable mention. The football teams, they all did quite well. Varsity ended up 6-6, lost in the semifinals for the District 4 to the number 1 ranked AAA team in the state. The JVs ended up with a 6-1-1 record. The junior high team 7-2. So they all did quite well. Mr. Myers, 5th and 6th graders lost a heartbreaker in the league semifinals on Sunday to finish 8-2. They lost to Mifflinburg 6-0. The 3rd and 4th graders were 6-3, and the flag team was 9-2. And one last note, the Warrior Marching Band, the cheerleaders were quite fantastic this year. Great programs. That's all I got.
Very good. That's great. If you haven't been down Broad Street lately, I would go take a drive on your way home tonight. It's starting to light up and look real nice. The students have done a bang up job of decorating, I think, almost 30 of the storefronts this year, and every one of them has a team representing. We had some folks reaching out after the fact to try to get in, but we didn't have any place to put them. So that's fantastic. So there's a lot more lights this year, which I'm pretty excited about. The chamber will be going around Thursday afternoon to do the judging, so we'll know the results Thursday, Friday. But thank you to all of you for pushing that. We just want to see that continue to grow and get brighter and better as we move along. So thank you very much.
From a safety and security standpoint, I have nothing publicly. However, if you look around the nation, what's going on in some of our colleges as well as schools, there's no doubt in my mind that we made the right move a year and a half ago to install the armed guards at the school, and hopefully that gives not only our parents but our students a peace of mind should something come to light that needs to be reacted to. So thank you for that. That's all I have, Mr. Brown.
All right.
I'll concur that. The other day that we had like the scare in Williamsport and the rumor, I mean, I was actually not in the building at the time, but knowing that Mr. Whipple was there, he took my directions, and by the time I got back, like, things were in full. And then within 2 minutes, Mr. T called and said, all clear, never mind. But again, had I not, again, they're excellent to work with and, very, very valuable.
Thank you. But very reassuring, and all the students love them. They all get along very well with them, which is equally as comforting, so. All right, now we'll move on to the final public comment portion of the evening. Again, you get 3 unpaused time minutes for residents and taxpayers to comment on matters of concern or official action or deliberating before the board.
Ron Snell, Lower Manor Road. If y'all remember last meeting, I brought up the grant that the state had, which is passed now, for money coming from the state to help with building improvements. I just want to let everybody know, all across the state, that $5 million that LCTC got, there's school districts all across the state that's getting that $5 million. Plus, not all of them are $5 million, depending on what their project are. Now, it makes me sad that that wasn't put in for, knowing that we have buildings that could use that money for roof, HVAC, improvements in the classrooms. I'm hoping going forward, and I shared with Mr. Taramino, where the state now has a site where you can go and see all the grants that the state offers to schools, to different agencies, not just schools. And Mr. Taramino assured me that that's going to help him look forward, and going forward, it's going to help him knowing what grants are available and how to proceed with getting them grants. Thank you.
If I could just add to that, the school improvement grants that were available, you had to have a project with bids or quotes ready to go, and we weren't quite there. In meeting with our financial advisors today, they confirmed for me, there is a pot of money for this year in the budget. The issue is they had so many requests from last year's, they may not take any new. The grant that LICO CTC got was a $5 million RACP, that Senator Yaw was very instrumental in securing for LICO CTC. I'm working with our reps, both Representative Ham and Senator Yaw, to see what funding, in addition to the site that Ron said, to see what funding is available for us to offset any costs of any type of building project that we do here in the district. So very mindful of that. We have to do a lot on a lot of our work on our taxpayers, because we're still not funded appropriately by Harrisburg. But we are working very hard that any type of project has little to no impact on the taxpayers in the district.
I want to thank you for that.
We're working really hard, from scaling back the project to securing funds. It's an effort, but it's worth it.
All right, seeing no one else in the room, we'll go to Zoom.
Yes, I like to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Absolutely. Come on up.
Okay, my name is Charles Lichter. I've lived in Mateursville all my life. I graduated from Mateursville in '56. Okay. Now, the first thing I'd like to say, he said about sports. I didn't come here to say a thing about sports. I more or less was here hoping to say something about the Loyalsock Valley School. But since he mentioned about sports, no. Mateursville football is not doing good. The boys are, but we need a new coach. We definitely need a coach, guys. I hope a lot of you go to the ball games. I do go. That man does not know how to coach football. Okay, the boys we have are good. They were ahead against a lot of the tough teams, and we lost. We should never lost any of those games. We should have been much closer. So I hope sometime you guys will think about getting another coach, football coach out there, like we've had in the past years. We had proud teams for many, many years, and all once we're down here now. Now, this is his third year, I think, Mr. Hannah, right?
I'm not sure.
Well, I hope something happens there. Well, he was talking about grants. That's what I came to talk about, grants. I keep reading in the paper. Jersey Shore gets this grant. Jersey Shore gets this grant. They're getting all kind of grants and a couple other schools besides. Why aren't we getting grants to fix the Loyalsock Valley School? I hope you will look at it closer at the grants that are out there. They're out there. So please try to do something about that, will you? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else in the room? All right, we'll go to Zoom. If you have a comment, please raise your hands. All right, seeing none, that will wrap up the public comment portion of the evening, and we will move to adjournment. I'll take.
Second.
He's excited.
I know, it's quiet all night.
All right, all in favor, say aye. Aye, all opposed? Good. All right. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Ready to go.
Oh my gosh. He said Trump's the president, let's get a whole party.
Watch CNN.
I didn't watch him go up on their words.
See how many.